What is up, everybody? This is RadTechShoe, and I am bringing you part 5 of my Devil May Cry 2 LP. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Right off the bat, you'll see a red orb right off to the right. But before we go over and get it, I'm going to equip my shotgun. We got a couple enemies we got to take care of, and the shotgun works wonders against them. Alright, so these two white wolves teleport in. And they're pretty simple. Their patterns are pretty simple. They just dash around, they howl, and they don't even do that much damage. They don't even target you when they do their attacks. They just jump around, and if you're near them, you'll get hit. They do have a decent amount of health, and as you can tell, they don't do a whole lot of damage. But the shotgun does do a good amount of damage to them. And once we deal with them, they will retreat. They won't be dead. So one's down, the other one's still alive. So once we deal with them, we'll trigger a cinematic, they'll both retreat and go back to their master. Alright, now that the two wolves are gone, we're going to head up here and we're going to fight a couple Puya. So I'm going to switch back to my pistols. And we're also going to encounter a blood goat. This is a variant of a goatling. So once the barrier goes up, we'll trigger the battle. Blood goats have a little bit more stamina. They don't flinch at the first sword hit. They seem to be a little harder to beat than a regular goatling, but they're not that big of a problem. So once the goatling and the Puya are dealt with, another group of goatlings and Puya will spawn in, and it's the same battle as before. Now just keep up the pressure, go to double trigger every now and then if you want to get rid of these guys just a little bit quicker. Now we've unlocked the exit from this area and go into the next part of town, but before we do that, we're going to gather up the red orbs, and then we're going to go over here, jump over the barricade, and we're going to head into a secret room. This secret room has a bit of a catch. Those orbs are actually bombs. Shoot them when their skin is twirling around them, when you can see their core, and it'll cause them to detonate. Just don't be near them when they detonate, otherwise you'll take a significant amount of damage. And here, you can blow up the orbs, and it will damage the goatling, which is nice and useful. That way you don't have to worry about him. So just blow up the rest of the cores. I gotta say, this is probably the easiest secret room I've ever, in the whole. It's probably a good candidate for the easiest secret room in the game. I have yet to find one that's easier. So pretty much, just go ahead, detonate all the orbs, and claim all the prizes once they're all gone. Alright, now we're going on to the next part of the mission in the second half of town, and this part is the part that I hate with a passion. I really freaking hate this part coming up. We get thrown into a boss battle right off the bat. A boss battle with what? How about another Orangurera? And this time he's got some Enceras with him. The fire-breathing Enceras. This wouldn't be too bad if it weren't for the fact that Dante loves to auto-target the little Enceras instead of the Orangurera. And I need to kill the Orangurera first, because killing these little guys does nothing. They will keep spawning as long as the Orangurera is still alive. And since Dante loves to target the little ones when they get near him, it can make this battle a little frustrating. So as you can see, I am forced to go to double trigger to inflict damage. But so many times, time and time again, I've had trouble. And right here, as you can tell, it's difficult to get going on this guy. Sure, his attacks can harm the little ones, but I was actually very lucky. He didn't grab me or throw me. He didn't shoot a blast of air out of his stomach at me. I really hate fighting that Orangarera. I don't care if he's always on the ground and not on the ceiling. I hate it because I don't like fighting those little guys with him because Dante keeps targeting me. So that was just one of the areas that kind of irritated me. The next mini-bosses we're going to fight are really going to irritate me. So go ahead, run all the way down here. Head in through the door. Another secret room. So these are variants of Emsira. These guys breathe a poisonous gas or ooze or whatever. They can poison you just like our boss from the 4th mission. You know, whatever her name was, the tentacle bitch. I don't know, I can't remember her name. I don't really care to. Like I said, the bosses in this game are pretty forgettable and they don't have any personality. At least none this far in the game. So once we take out the second wave, we'll get all the items. But these guys are pretty fast, and like I said, they will rush you, and these guys are not like the original Emsira. If they get near you, they will attack you almost immediately. So evading them is very important. And you'll see me try to work up a combo on these guys, and then like one quick attack takes it away from me. And like I said, this mission just overall, like so many aspects of this mission irritate me. I just don't like it. So once we're done with this, we'll gather everything up, head on out. Okay, now that we've left the room, we're gonna jump over the truck and trigger a cutscene. Alright, so here's the next part that I really don't like. These tanks are infested. I don't get it, doesn't make sense. It's an inanimate object, it's not alive, it never was alive, so it becoming infected makes absolutely no sense to me, but whatever. The other thing I really don't like about it is it has a crap ton of health. As you can tell, my sword, which is level 3 Rebellion, is hardly doing any damage to it. And it takes a long time to do anything. And the third thing that irritates me is if you notice, the other tank is able to shoot at me, and it is able to shoot through the tank I am attacking, and it is almost hitting me. And I've had this happen to me repeatedly when I've done practice runs of this, and it ruins my combo. And I really don't like this. I don't care for it at all. Now, here's another part that ticks me off. It's not really the tanks, it's how you battle them. There are 3 tanks. One that we just took care of. This one over here, and then on the ramp, on the off-ramp to our right that we just passed, there's a third one. And you're going to see that third one, it's going to shoot around at me, and it's going to hit me. Now, what I don't like about this is because if I were to beat this one last, if I were to defeat the one on the ramp second, and then this one last, if I go far enough down this street, I could trigger a cinematic, which would seal off the rest of the street. Which is fine and all, it helps me progress in the story, you know, I can progress in the mission. However, I can actually screw myself out of picking up some very good items. And that actually happened to me in one of my test runs, and I was really upset over it. Because I didn't expect the game to actually do that to me, but it did. So like I said, there's so many aspects about this mission that I just don't care for. I don't like it, I don't like the tanks, they have way too much health. I think the concept of an infected tank is stupid. I just don't care for this section of the mission at all. It takes way too long. These things should not have this much health. Nor should they be able to shoot through each other to hit me. But as I said, if we were to go take that second tank we took care of, if we were to take care of it last, we would trigger a cinematic that would prevent us from grabbing a couple of items. But luckily, I know which order to defeat these tanks. So I'm gonna show you everything in this area, so that if you play this game, you'll know not to screw yourself like I did in one of my playthroughs. So all the way up here, we have a red orb and a blue orb fragment. Afterwards, hop right off, jump over this pile of rubble. We're gonna go get another piece of equipment here. Alright, so now we have the offense heart. The offense heart will increase the strength of our attacks while we're in Devil Trigger. Very useful. And as I mentioned earlier, you can actually progress through the mission and miss this completely, as well as miss this secret mission. So if you took out that one tank last, and you sealed off this area and you couldn't go back, you could actually screw yourself out of getting the offense heart, which I personally don't agree with. I feel like it is a very important item, especially early on in this game. But like I said, the fact that you have multiple bosses and mini bosses that are just a pain to fight, they have way too much health, and that you can accidentally screw yourself out of picking up a couple of important items, I just don't care for this mission at all. I think this mission is it's a bad mission in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. That's an offense heart and this secret room, which is a blue orb fragment, and then the blue orb fragment at the top of the off-ramp. So 2 blue orb fragments and an offense heart is something you can actually cheat yourself out of accidentally if you don't battle the tanks in the correct order, which is a bit of a blind side from this game. But if you thought the tanks were annoying, oh, just wait, we have something even worse. So run inside the hole, don't even bother fighting it. You're not gonna fight this thing for a while, you're just gonna keep running from it. So now we have an infected chopper to just keep running and evading. So yeah, infected tanks and infected choppers. Once again, I think it's really freaking stupid. It makes no sense why these things are somehow alive. But whatever. I didn't make the game. Anyway, just keep double jumping up here, up on the walls, climb up, higher and higher. There's nothing of interest in here other than just a couple stray red orbs, but keep going higher. The infested chopper will follow you. Do not engage it, just run from it until you get to the very top, and then you're gonna head out the door. Alright, continue ignoring the chopper, don't shoot at it, don't fight it, don't waste your time. Just head over here to the platform and run off. Run right off. Alright, once you regain control, keep running, don't even bother. Run around here, grab the red orb. Jump up. And the cinematic shows you where you need to go. Now there is a blue orb hidden around here. So we're gonna go up, but we're not gonna go all the way up just yet. We're gonna jump up here. And as we're climbing, Huya will spawn and try to harass us. But, you know, if you want, you can take care of a couple of them. But we don't need to. But there's the blue orb, you just saw it. we're gonna go get that as soon as I take care of this buoy. Alright, so we're gonna jump up. Get in the little elevator and just let it fall. And bam, we got a blue orb for our troubles. Alright, jump up and just keep climbing. Next, it'll go over here, jump off. Your jump doesn't have to be perfect. The game will automatically pull Dante to where he needs to go. And once again, we have some more climbing to do. Here, the jumps need to be a little more precise because you're going to be jumping on these little pillars and then you're going to be jumping on those narrow platforms, those snake heads. So keep jumping up. Just ignore the Puya, keep climbing, and now we'll have a showdown with the chopper. Alright, so pretty much it's as simple as can be. You're just going to shoot the damn thing until it dies. That's really all you can do. The only time you can even get close enough is if it flies directly overhead of you, hovers directly over you, and it gets low enough for you to double jump up and do a downward sword slash in the air and scrape the bottom of its hull. However, it very rarely does that, at least for me. So this thing is more of just a tedious, time-consuming chore than an actual boss fight. It just takes so long. So as you can see, like, oh, no. For some reason it didn't want to connect. So as you can tell, the missiles are a real pain in the ass. They like to, even if they miss you, if they don't hit anything immediately, they'll just turn right around and follow you more. So you have to evade them at the last second and let them run into the walls or onto the ground. But as you can see, sometimes the chopper positions itself so that there's no way you'll know whether or not it's firing those missiles. So like I said, this is more of a tedious, boring, and time-consuming chore than an actual boss fight. This does not feel legit at all. This is once again another boss fight that is pretty weak, and it doesn't even deserve to be in this game. And no surprise, this is another example of why I hate this mission so much. I get bosses with big health bars that take forever for them to go all the way down. If you're gonna give me a boss with a big health bar, have them have very low defense so I can at least do considerable damage and it makes it feel like I'm doing significant progress. But anyway, just keep pounding away at the damn chopper and eventually it'll die. I really hate this mission. I'm glad I'm not playing it again. And I hope I don't have to encounter any more of these things in the rest of the game. Luckily though, next mission is actually very short. This is definitely the longest mission I've done thus far in this LP. But fortunately, next mission makes up for that for being short, sweet, and actually kind of somewhat enjoyable and much more bearable than this. But anyway, once we take out the chopper, we'll trigger a cinematic, and then the mission will finally come to an end. Alright, finally it's over. So as you can tell, you know, not the greatest. I keep getting B's because I take way too much damage in this game. And I'm past the point where I'm starting to care. I've pretty much just given up on that. I'm not going to be getting any S's. I'm pretty sure I'm not. Not with this game. Like I said, this game has reaffirmed the reason why I initially disliked it way back when it originally came out. But anyway, I will see you all in the next mission. Later, guys.